Today we'll teach you 3 easy and very effective ways you can use resampling. For instance, maybe you have a melody. By the way, this is the melody from my latest single called I'm Fine. Go and listen to it, links are in the description. A nice and easy way to add ear candy and some sort of ambience to the sound is by actually applying a granular effect. In this case, what I'm going to do is actually go 100% wet, so I can experiment and find something that I find quite nice. So let's start playing around with the grain size, the timing, maybe we can add some modulation here and there, and listen to how it sounds. That sounds quite nice, but if you're like me, you like weirder interfaces, so let's go to the harvester. This will let us get an effect that's changing over time. Let's change the position of everything, maybe a bit of the amount. Of course, let's program the trajectory of the harvester, maybe a bit slower. I can disable parameters that could get a bit noisy or change the pitch in a bad way, and I like what I'm hearing. So the idea is now let's take the whole moment that this sequence is playing and bounce it to a new track that's the same as rendering. Of course, it has to be post-fader. So now we can do is of course use this as a layer for the melody, but the idea of bouncing it is using it in specific moments. You can even use them in other moments where the melodies are not playing, but it's going to be reminiscent of those melodies. So the listener will know that something is familiar. Now let's go to another project so I can show you the other 2 techniques. This is something that I showed on a smaller video, but I figured I would include it here. You just have to take a sample browser, in this case I'm using XO because I like doing this, and record the output. Maybe filter the kicks so we don't have too much of low end, and let's play around in a fast and a slow manner. So now we have this crazy result. What I will do now is to actually quantize this result so it's on time with my project. And again, we start choosing the moments that we enjoy the most. And now let's hear the drum beat and start applying these different sounds into it. I don't want them to sound all the time, it's going to be tiring and distracting, but it can add nice little percussion inside the beat. You can even take some of these and process them with reverbs and delay to add different flavors. The thing is, the rhythm of the percussion is somewhat random, and because of that we added a new groove to the sound, which is going to make the beat feel a lot different. For the third technique, let's add the other elements of this song. It's unfinished, but this is going to definitely be a full song. This technique implies actually using effects on the master bus. That's right, we are going to apply crazy effects to every sound at the same time. For this, I'm going to use Infiltrator because it's easier to use a multi-effect, and Infiltrator is my favorite. Of course, because I also want to use the sequencer. So in this case, I started using different ideas. For instance, the beat crusher, using the FM, of course, using the multi-band compressor at the end of Infiltrator, adding distortion, filtering, and whatever else that could make this something weirder and heavier. The idea is to go also by feel, so you get very creative. Now, of course, I'm not going to replace the original sound with this, but still, let's render it. I want to use specific moments to enhance the original sound, because you may have thought that the lead and the bass on the original were a bit lame. They don't have too much energy and whatever, but it was on purpose. Because listen to the difference between this and this. I immediately knew I wanted to use this small part in the song every time the bass is playing. This adds a lot more character to it and makes it a lot heavier. So those are the 3 ways you can use resampling. I hope you liked this video and I will see you next time. Bye bye!